Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. WWE Saturday Night's main event is right around the corner, and the fans have been quite excited about what might unfold at the show. The company has confirmed some massive matches for the night, including surprises and twists that may introduce new storylines for SummerSlam 2025. One of the major matches confirmed for the weekend is Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton. The Scottish Warrior returned last week on the blue brand after being absent for a few weeks, just to be on the receiving end of an RKO, which led to Nick Aldis confirming the singles match between the two. While the match is official, Nick Aldis could add a massive twist to the storyline that might add a lot of excitement among fans ahead of SummerSlam. The general manager of SmackDown could interfere during the match at Saturday night's main event, just to cost Orton the battle, which could lead to McIntyre picking up a victory against the Viper. This could further lead to the storyline between Orton and Aldis finally seeing developments, which should lead to a match between the two at the biggest party of the summer. Aldis has been expected to return to the squared circle for a long time now, specifically after taking a couple of RKOs over the past few months on the blue brand. The interference at Saturday night's main event could be revenge for the RKOs Orton had delivered, followed by Aldis finally getting his hands on the former world champion at SummerSlam. With some massive developments expected in the story, fans will have to wait and see what WWE has in store for both men next. WWE has already started shaping up the card for SummerSlam, and a lot of it depends on the results this weekend. Saturday night's main event is set to include two more massive matches: Seth Rollins finally getting his hands on LA Knight, and then Goldberg's final match against Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. Apart from SNME, the company has also confirmed Evolution debut for this weekend, which also has a stacked match card, including some title matches. With the company's landscape possibly set to shift this weekend, SummerSlam could end up having a number of surprises. The company has confirmed one massive match for the biggest party of the summer. Cody Rhodes is set for his rematch against John Cena for the undisputed WWE Championship. It will be interesting to see what more the company has in store for the premium live event. The WWE Universe may be heading toward a major turning point involving SmackDown general manager Nick Aldis and one of the blue brand's biggest names. With Saturday night's main event rapidly approaching and SummerSlam not far behind, rumblings behind the scenes have hinted at the possibility of Aldis making a shock move that could dramatically alter the trajectory of a top superstar's storyline. If recent behavior and subtle tension on SmackDown aren't any indication, the next few weeks could lead to one of the most personal and unexpected rivalries WWE has seen in years, with Aldis at the very center of it. While Aldis has largely operated as an authoritative figure with a measured and professional demeanor, he's never been a stranger to conflict. A veteran of the wrestling world, Aldis brings with him a reputation of being both strategic and unapologetic when crossed. And if a superstar were to challenge his authority, embarrass him on live television, or threaten the brand he oversees, there's every reason to believe he'd retaliate in a calculated and high-impact fashion. With rumors swirling about Aldis potentially costing a major WWE star a high-stakes match at Saturday night's main event, speculation has reached a fever pitch about how that act of interference could set up a blockbuster showdown at SummerSlam. Among the names being discussed in connection with Aldis are LA Knight, AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, and even Logan Paul. Each of these names brings a different dynamic to the possible storyline. For example, LA Knight has repeatedly hinted at frustrations with WWE management, occasionally throwing jabs at Aldis during promos. Knight's charisma and rising popularity make him a perfect target for a high-profile betrayal that would generate maximum heat and fan reaction. AJ Styles, on the other hand, has a history with Aldis stretching back to their time outside of WWE. That long-term familiarity could easily be woven into a personal feud that breaks the fourth wall and leans into real-life tensions. Kevin Owens, known for his rebellious spirit and frequent clashes with authority, would be a natural foil to Aldis' composed exterior. And then there's Logan Paul, the United States champion and social media sensation who brings with him the eyeballs and mainstream crossover appeal that WWE loves to highlight at big events like SummerSlam. But perhaps the most intriguing possibility centers around LA Knight. The megastar has had a roller coaster year, going from fan-favorite underdog to main event contender. However, his push has often felt stifled at key moments, leading to speculation that someone in power has been holding him back. Enter Nick Aldis. The seeds of tension were planted weeks ago when Knight confronted Aldis backstage, questioning match bookings and accusing the GM of favoritism. While the segment may have seemed like a one-off at the time, insiders suggest it was the beginning of a slow-burn story arc that could culminate in a massive betrayal. If Aldis were to cost Knight a #1 contenders match, or even interfere in a title bout at Saturday night's main event, the betrayal would not only shock fans but also give Knight a clear path to seek revenge. The timing could not be more perfect. With SummerSlam just weeks away, WWE is actively searching for high-stakes rivalries to fill the card. A match between Nick Aldis and LA Knight would be a fresh, emotionally charged encounter that blurs the lines between fiction and reality. Aldis, although not currently an active in-ring competitor, remains in top physical shape and has not ruled out a return to the ring. A one-night-only match at SummerSlam, one of WWE's biggest shows of the year, would be a fitting setting for such a dramatic confrontation. The beauty of this potential storyline lies in its depth and realism. Rather than simply booking a match for the sake of it, WWE would be crafting a narrative rooted in ambition, ego, power, and redemption. LA Knight representing the voice of the people, outspoken, hungry, and fearless, against Nick Aldis, the calm and collected authority figure who snaps when his control is challenged. It's classic pro wrestling storytelling with a modern twist. Imagine the visual of Aldis in a suit, walking to ringside during Knight's match at Saturday night's main event. The crowd unsure of his intentions, murmuring with uncertainty. Then the moment. Perhaps a subtle trip, a distraction, or even an outright interference with a steel chair. Aldis costs Knight the match, leaving him stunned in the ring while the victorious opponent celebrates. The arena would erupt in boos, the betrayal cutting deep due to its unexpectedness. On the following SmackDown, Knight storms to the ring, demanding answers. Aldis, smug and unapologetic, responds with a scathing promo about respect, order, and how Knight has always been more bark than bite. The confrontation leads to Knight issuing a challenge. SummerSlam. You and me. No suits. No authority. Just two men who need to settle something. There's also the broader narrative advantage to this angle. WWE has often struggled with how to utilize general managers in storylines without overexposing them or undermining their roles. Aldis is a rare exception. He carries himself with enough presence and credibility to be more than just a figurehead. His involvement in an in-ring storyline would feel earned rather than forced. A match at SummerSlam wouldn't just be a gimmick. It would be the culmination of weeks of tension and character development. In addition, this storyline could serve as a platform to elevate LA Knight further. Win or lose, going toe-to-toe with an authority figure in a marquee match positions him as a major player. It gives the audience a reason to invest in his journey and adds a new layer to his character, moving beyond catchphrases and crowd pops into a deeper, more emotional territory. Of course, there are other directions WWE could take this. If not LA Knight, then perhaps someone like AJ Styles. The Phenomenal One has been somewhat adrift since his feud with Cody Rhodes, and a renewed rivalry with Aldis would give him purpose. Their shared history in TNA and NWA makes for compelling storytelling, and Aldis costing Styles a match could be framed as a personal vendetta rooted in envy or unfinished business. Styles, with his in-ring mastery and storytelling ability, could bring out the best in Aldis if they were to meet one-on-one at SummerSlam. Another viable option is Kevin Owens. His recent run-ins with management have reignited his rebel persona, and having Aldis actively work against him would feel like a logical extension of that arc. Owens, always intense and believable, could sell the emotional weight of betrayal like few others. A fiery promo battle between Owens and Aldis would instantly raise the stakes, leading to a brutal, no-rules match that feels more like a fight than a wrestling bout. One wild card in all this is the potential for Aldis to not just interfere alone, but align himself with another superstar, someone who benefits from his authority and provides the muscle Aldis lacks. A faction led by Aldis, even temporarily, would add complexity to the angle and give WWE more pieces to move on the chessboard. Imagine Aldis mentoring a rising heel like Austin Theory or aligning with an already established name like Grayson Waller. The GM could position himself as the brains behind a new era of SmackDown, a puppet master pulling the strings. That alignment could set up multi-man matches and tag team brawls leading into SummerSlam, giving more talent a spotlight and keeping the story fresh week to week. It's also worth noting the long-term implications of such a storyline. WWE is currently in a transitional phase, with younger stars rising and creative freedom becoming more prominent. Incorporating Aldis into an active storyline, especially one that involves physical confrontation, sends a signal that WWE is willing to shake things up. It breaks the mold of GMs being passive figures and brings back the edge of authority figures being part of the action, reminiscent of the Attitude Era. Furthermore, it opens the door for Aldis to become a recurring in-ring character if the crowd reaction is strong. While he doesn't need to wrestle regularly, having the ability to step into the ring when the story demands it adds versatility to his role. Of course, for any of this to work, the execution must be flawless. Timing, promo delivery, match quality, and long-term planning all need to align. WWE has shown in recent months that it's capable of crafting long-term storytelling, as evidenced by the Bloodline saga. The Aldis betrayal storyline would require a similar level of commitment and patience, but the payoff could be tremendous. A memorable moment at Saturday night's main event. A heated feud with weekly developments on SmackDown. A grudge match at SummerSlam that steals the show. And most importantly, a chance for Law Knight, or whoever the targeted superstar is, to break through to the next level. The WWE Universe thrives on moments of betrayal, unexpected turns, and emotional storytelling. Nick Aldis interfering in a major match, costing a superstar their shot, and setting up a SummerSlam grudge match checks every box. It gives the fans a reason to care, gives talent a meaningful story, and gives WWE a fresh narrative to explore. Whether it's Law Knight, AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, or another name entirely, the seeds of conflict are already there. It's just a matter of time before they bloom into something unforgettable. So as Saturday night's main event looms, keep your eyes on Nick Aldis. Because if the rumors are true, the SmackDown GM could soon cross a line from which there's no turning back. And when he does, SummerSlam may never be the same. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our WWE official YouTube channel for more update news.